One.
Well, Tony. Welcome back. What are we doing today? Do you know?
I think I know.
Yes.
But first off, what do you think about the last video that we reacted to?
I mean, I love Run BTS. I just put out a video of my on my own channel about it. They are absolute chaotic fun. I love them to pieces. So I'm always happy to spend a little extra time with the boys. So
go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, are you ready for today? Because I'm going to be kind of dropping you into the deep end of the pool today.
Oh man, what if I don't know how to swim?
That's going to be the best part. You know, like I said last week, you've never had to go in blind to anything. So this is going to be probably even more of a kind of like cold bucket of water being thrown on you a little bit. But here's the truth. I have gone through many groups, as you have known. And I, at this point, have always wished that when I get introduced to a new group, that I am thrown into the deep end of the pool.
Okay.
And in fact, like one of the groups, the very first one that I started with was like their most divisive song. And I just like was so excited that they actually like, let's challenge that musicality. So it's pretty cool.
So for those just tuning in, I feel like I've been thrown into a rabbit hole, like an overgrown, oversized, ginormous rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. That's just never, you can never fill it. You can never fill it. You'll just get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Oh, yes. So as you know, I have kind of queued up. I spent literal days deciding what music that we were going to start with. But then when you told me that you wanted to do BTS first, I was like, I am going to introduce him to what I think is probably one of their most dynamic songs.
So how does this correlate with photography and videography? I have to ask that.
Well, I think it's the subjects, the boys themselves, because this actually, and I'll tell you right here, right now, the song is called Dionysus. It's actually based on like the god of wine and drinking. But the whole thing is about this is that this particular song, when they first released it, the choreography was so hard that they actually had to change it because they actually ended up getting injured. So the thing that's really crazy about this particular one is you'll see this too. The videography in this going along with their dances is so perfect. It is crazy at the chemistry that they have with the camera and also that they have with the song as well, because it's pretty crazy. In my personal opinion, this is like the Dragon Force. Like this is through the fire and flames of BTS.
All right. Well, Lock Nation.
One last thing.
Go ahead.
This was done on one take.
Wow.
One take.
That's impressive. Like
this was my favorite version.
Like I cannot emphasize enough. There's my famous phrase I always say. I cannot emphasize enough how many times, like I said in the last video, when I had kids like moving their hands all over the place, I was like, keep your hands still. I'm a photographer. I'm trying to take good photos.
I tried to take a picture of you, not a video.
But you know, and I'm like, your parents didn't pay for video; they pay for photos.
Yes,
they pay for photos. Just keep your hands still.
Yes,
okay. Okay. All right. Enough chit chat.
Enough chit chat. We're gonna start with Dionysus.
On with the show.
Oh my goodness, I love this so much. Are you ready?
High so far.
Wow. 다른 손에 든 들서 투명한 크리스탈 자속 샤라기는 예술 예술도 술이 힘어 마시면 취해 You don't know what to do it 보여줄게 나 전혀 다른 걸 주게
I love the videography, Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
소리 따윈 없다 해가 뜰 때까지 we're the party yeah 잠이 들 때까지 we're the party yeah Sing it 불러 다시 drink it 마셔 다시 우린 두 번째는 잠깐
I know though.
That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm ready for the show. 마셔 내 술잔에 빠져 미치면 술가게 And then do that 예술을 지어볼래 엉해야 다 마셔 내 술잔에 빠져 미치면 술가게 And then do that 예술을 지어볼래 엉해야
I like that they don't. Real quick, I want to talk to you about that real quick. I like that they don't do the whole like we're a boy band kind of thing. Like they're like this is like rock, rap, and pop all mixed together. Like that's so.
Oh
cool.
yeah, dude, their rap goes hard. That's so hard.
Impressive. All right, back to it. Videography is so smooth.
Oh yeah.
Can't you see my step from dear saucy 난 다시 태어나는 비로소 When the night come When the night come Still
Wow, this is
dum bass drum goes like dum yeah
Choreography is really good too.
Oh yeah.
So real quick, Aaron, we need to bring some people up to speed. Why do you think that we both know about the choreography of their dance moves?
Oh yes, for quite some time, Tony he accompanied me into the ballroom scene.
Yeah, we both joined for girls we had crushes on.
I ended up dating one of them.
Yeah, well, I didn't end up dating that one, but that's a whole other story. He turned out to be kind of crazy. But yeah, we were in ballroom for over a year.
Yeah.
Do you remember my ballroom my ballroom injury that happened?
When you got absolutely kneed square in the eye.
Right in the eye, and I had a huge black. It was my right eye, and I had a black eye. And so, a little fun fact about that, Lock Nation, and anyone else who's watching. The next week, we were both working at that grocery store that we mentioned in the last video, and our boss, our front end manager, her name was Suzanne.
Oh gosh.
She asked, we could go on for hours about that lady. But she asked me, like, are people beating you up? How embarrassed do you think it was for me to have to say, no, this happened in a ballroom dance accident?
Yeah. So the funny thing is, though, I wanted to always say this, but like when it happened, I had no idea what had happened. I heard this like that, and that's like all I heard. I thought it was someone's like knee like popping. Because like there was a few people that were like, as they tried to do moves, their knees would crack and pop and stuff.
So Aaron, maybe we both can post on our community tabs. I'll have to look for mine. Maybe you can send me send me the same photo, but we should post those professional photos that they had us all take so people can see that like we're not lying about this, that we.
So I had actually posted mine already. The only one that I have left was me with my ex.
Okay, so maybe send that to me after this, and so I'll post it on my community tab so people can see that. They can see me with all dark hair, not this salt pepper look.
I'll see if I have more pictures of that. I don't know if I just.
Let's go back to the video.
Yeah. There we are.
때까지 with the party, yeah. Sing it, 불러, 다시 drink it, 마셔, 다시 우린 두 번 태어나.
The choreography is just really good. I'm impressed.
Oh yeah.
시대의 홍청, 나와의 속청. Okay, now ready for the show. 마셔 내 술잔에 빠져 미친 예술가게. And then do that. 예술을 지으려 엉해야. 마셔 내
Look at this videography on it. I'm really impressed.
I wasn't joking. Yeah.
Do that. 우리가 걷다 한번 take 얼굴을 기다려 버리네 킥팝을 올라오게 하나 다시 왔으가 나는데 다시 왔으가 나는데 다시 왔으가 나는데 내가 알던 그 내 스파이더 너가 중요했잖아 있을까 이 정도면 가면이가 세기로 붙자 신발 싸움해질 싸움 집배를 들어 올리고 원샷 하나 나 여전히 목말라
Wow, that was impressive.
Ready for this? I wait to get hyped up.
Awesome.
Come on.
That is something he's like, come on.
Let's go!
마셔 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 내 숫자에 빠져 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 미친 내 숫자에 술을 취해버려 오케이야 마셔 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 내 숫자에 빠져 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 미친 내 숫자에
Puja, Pacha, T-Zone, Pondo, Huigi, T-Style, Jogging, that's LA, Puja, Pacha, T-Zone, Pondo, Huigi, T-Style.
So cool, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
That's LA.
Okay, that stance right there, like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
just mind blow. Like, it's just
So-
the fact that you know how Aaron in the last video, like when we were doing those the ones where they were like talking, they looked like they're like, yeah, we got money.
Uh-huh. That's
That's
that
what that
scene right
reminds me
there.
of. They're like,
Yes. So the thing that's
gosh,
also crazy about that
was
too.
so. I'm not gonna lie. I think I would probably catch myself blasting that in my car.
Oh yeah. The thing that's crazy about this too is like this was actually in my top most listened to songs last year. It was this and another song of theirs that was called Louder Than Bombs, which is also phenomenal. But that I think it ranked 4th in all of the video or on all the songs that I listened to last year was Dionysus.
There's one I want to go back to that because there was a scene that I want to go back to that it just I was so impressed with.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just kind of scoot back just to like maybe like we'll go to like this right here. Let me share my screen again.
Do it.
When you just see him just standing there and he's just
Yeah.
waiting so patiently, and you're like, okay, what's gonna happen next? Like I love this part right here.
So
Ready for this?
really quick.
I wait.
What's that?
So off screen, I was telling you that one of them is the appointed leader.
Mm-hmm.
That's him. He goes by RM. That's his name.
RM.
Mhm.
Okay, man. I mean, RM. He looks like a statue right there. He's like,
Yeah, so statuesque.
To get hyped up. Come on.
it's just that thing right there because that reminds me so. Oh wait, I forgot to share my screen. I apologize.
I was like,
Let me share my screen. We're gonna. Oh, hang on.
Ah.
Sorry.
"Hi, I'm back."
There we go.
There we
That's
are.
what I was looking for. Technical difficulties. That happens.
There you go. Now go back.
All right. It's just this part right here with RM, like, because you know,
Boy,
this right here is just
ready for
so
this?
cool.
Oh yeah.
I wait to get hyped up. Come on.
Okay, that right there. You know what that reminds me of?
What's up?
Like, and it reminds me of those like Jet Li movies where he just like looks at the like when he's fighting, he's like,
Oh
he's
yeah.
like, come on. And I'm just like, and so like that's why I got
Please
so
bring it on.
impressed because like it's just because I grew up watching all that kind of stuff, all those martial
yeah.
arts movies and everything because that's what my older brother would always like rent because
Yeah.
he was into martial arts and he was trying to get me into it. He's like, come on, you gotta get excited about this. This is so cool.
So here's
And
the
so, like
interesting
when you see
thing.
the little, come
Yeah.
on.
So go back to that really quick.
Okay, one
Share
sec.
your screen. So do you remember back last episode when we were doing Run BTS and you're like, oh, this
Uh-huh.
guy looks like Psy, the guy who does that's him.
Oh no way! Like
Yeah, that's the guy that you thought looked like Psy.
Get hyped up. Come on.
come on! Like I mean, just,
Come on.
it's so cool. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I love how they just get like all hyped up, and then this happens.
Let's go.
I'm so impressed.
Dude, they go crazy.
마셔 마셔 내 손잔에 다 빠져 미친 예술가에 원절 두절 소자 발자 틀소
Choreography is really good too.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite parts right here. I mean, the way they end is just it's phenomenal.
Oh yeah. So the thing that's also super crazy about this is that they do not lip sync. They never lip sync.
Okay,
they do everything live.
That is cool. That's good to know because
a lot of people do. Yeah.
There's as well as I do that. Like when it comes to American artists, like rock artists, like when they're filming the music video, like they're like lip syncing because like they don't want to change. They don't want the vocals to change. But that's one thing that like that's cool to know that they do this like all live. Like they're like no, we're not lip syncing.
Yeah.
Like we're doing this.
Mm-hmm. They have absolutely said that they refuse to ever lip sync, even if they sound bad.
That's awesome. Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. From a music lover, and someone who did, like you, like I did ballroom dance, but also just from a videographer's perspective, the videography in that was so insane.
Yeah.
It was so like well done. That I almost feel like whoever recorded that videography for them should be coming over here to America to do some of the videography for some of the American musicians. Don't get me wrong; like, they probably the ones that do it over here are great.
Oh yeah,
but it's just so it just flows so well.
Dynamic.
Yeah, the dynamic of it is just amazing.
One of my personal exact favorite moments in this is because the videography itself is right as soon as they start back over and they're back to the table at the very end, they actually don't let you see the table until they start to move out and they sit down. Like if you go,
let's
back,
watch it real quick.
Like right when you get back to about right here. Stop right here. So good. Oh, we might need to go back a little bit more. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I had some technical problems. You're good.
Yeah. So right here. Yeah. You don't see the table come until they sit down.
Okay, that is cool. Wow. I mean, it's just so well done. Like, oh, man.
So now, Tony, let me throw this back at you, since you always ask me, like, what do you think about this for photography? What do you think about this for videography? What do you like about this song from a musical standpoint?
I like that it keeps a good pace. I grew up, growing up, my mom, she raised me on like a lot of classic rock, like Journey, Chicago, all that kind of stuff. And so, like you too, so I've always been like around like a lot of like upbeat stuff.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I noticed about this song is that it's really upbeat. It's really like, it has no slow point.
Oh yeah.
Like even when they're not singing, like you can still hear the instruments in the background. They're still going. And even when he's like, you ready to get hyped up? He's like, come here.
Yeah.
And he's like,
let me knock you in the teeth.
He's about to do the mic drop right now. He's about to do it right now.
Yes. I agree. Like for me personally, I think one of the things that's so crazy is that all of them have such distinct voices. Two of the singers have kind of a higher pitched voice, and you can hear them just so distinctly throughout. And you're like in the very beginning, you hear them go "daddy" like that, and it just like cuts over everything. And it's just I like how the song is put together. Honestly, that's what I like about it.
Well, even going just back to the fact that it's with the music, like I play the guitar, you play the guitar. Like I was in high school, I was in a lyric show choir my senior year of high school. I don't think you ever knew that about me, did you?
No, I didn't.
But yeah, and so if we were, our choir teacher, he was pretty ruthless when it came down to it. We had to keep up with the rhythm, and if we were off just a hair, he'd say, "Stop, stop, stop." He's like, "Do it again."
Yeah,
because when you're a show choir,
it has to be
singing. You have to do things right on cue, right on point. Otherwise, you're going to do the whole thing. And so I think, didn't you say that they did this all in one take?
One take.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. And in fact, if you don't mind going back really quick, see if you can get to the main chorus where they go that part. You'll be able to hear the two high pitched voices now that I point that out.
Just tell me when to stop.
Okay, yeah, keep going. Right here.
Yeah, I can hear him. Oh, impressive!
Oh yeah. That high pitched voice right there. And right at the very beginning too, if you don't mind kind of going back for that as well, I'm going to point out one more that I really like.
The very beginning of the video?
Not super close. I would say probably about a minute or two in.
Okay. You'll just have to tell me when to stop.
Yeah. It's more kind of based around where they are in sound. Stop right there for just a second.
Do you want me to play?
Yeah, hit play.
Hey, real quick, I just noticed something that's really cool when it comes to the videography. When you see the two guys switching places, you don't even really see it coming. He just comes up out of nowhere.
I
want to play that again just because.
Go for it.
That's a really cool videography tactic to do because you see this guy right here. And then out of nowhere he just
when the night comes when the night comes
so this is the part that I was talking about. Go back for just a second.
Sorry.
Go back just a little. Just go back at just a smidgen. Listen to the high pitched voices right here. This is what I think is
here.
Yeah, just it's so ambiotic the way that they do these high pitched voices.
Okay,
I love it.
Oh,
you might need to go back further. Sorry, I'm terrible at this.
You're good. We'll go from right here. Okay.
Yeah.
When the night comes,
right here.
When the night comes,
wow.
Jump, bass drum goes like dum, yeah. Hang out till they catch it with the party, yeah. Charlie till they catch it with the party, yeah. Sing it, Bruno, dash it, drink it, macho, dash it. 우린 두 번 태어난
right here.
Okay.
Okay, now ready for show. 마셔 내 술잔에 다 빠져 미친 예술가게 한잔 두잔 예술의 지를 엉해 다 마셔 내 술잔에 다 빠져 미친 예술가게 한잔.
Okay, just from a music listener's point of view, POV, I like that they don't just all they don't just let that one person doesn't just hog the front and center. They take turns, they move around, and that's one thing that I always appreciate because I don't like hogging out the glory. Sometimes I might just be where I'm like this, or I'm like that, or it could be like this, things of that nature. Where I'm where I
Hi, it's just me.
And so I think that's very cool. They try to share the spotlight. I like that.
Yeah. And I think the one thing that is actually kind of cool, this is something that I've always had a problem with when it comes to boy bands, like we were talking about earlier, is that it's always like, we are the three singers, only us now, and like the thing that I really like about when they're doing this is like you said, like everybody has a role. And I think, and I hope that you agree with me, that it's not cringy.
No.
It's not cringy at all. And like that's something that was like the biggest thing for me, especially because like when you ever see, like, if you just Google anything for BTS, it's always like them being like really happy and kind of like in cutesy poses. Then dude, I can show you some stuff that it's like they are not cringy and they're not like this cute little boy band. Like they go crazy hard.
Well, and I think that's one thing that I can appreciate that, because look, like I remember growing up when I was like 12,
NSYNC, Geeks, Backstreet Boys,
and all the girls were like, oh
Cringe.
my gosh, these guys are so dreamy. I was like, they're guys. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, but then like you have artists like Lindsey Sterling, who really just like gets into it. She's like all over the stage, but she makes sure that other people have the spotlight as well. And so like I feel like that's the coolest part, is like when a musician, they can have all these like great modeling poses, but when you see them like actually perform, like they're not hogging all the glory. Like they're giving other people in their band, like just they're giving them the spotlight. Because they don't want to have the spotlight the entire time. Like, and to me, coming from a videographer's POV or point of view, or just from a music listener's point of view, I can appreciate that, because look, we all hated that in high school. Like when people are like, oh, I want all the glory, give me all the respect.
Yeah. I think the thing that's so crazy is that when it comes to BTS, like they're basically brothers. Like they, like I told you last week, like they all lived together in one room, like 7 of them, and they had no money, and they went through the heart of it. Like they went through some of the toughest moments together. And truly, I think that's kind of the reason why they have such good on-screen chemistry and like on-stage chemistry. They just really have that whole part just really laid out. It's cool. It's really cool.
And see, like, look, this is probably going to carbonate me a little bit, but I remember there was a Simpsons episode from the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, when Bart becomes part of a boy band.
Oh yes.
And yeah, he knew the other kids, but he didn't really associate with them. And I feel like that's where it really comes down to, like when it comes to music, because like being in that show choir, like we had to, like, even if we didn't get along with each other, like we had to get along with each other, like on stage, practicing, just because like it's just like you and I, like when we were talking about this, like if I didn't get along with you or if you didn't get along with me, we wouldn't do well. Like our friendship, our chemistry would not do well. It wouldn't be in sync.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, I think that that's one thing that's so cool and the thing that I think also really is kind of interesting is that even though they are close, they have very different musical backgrounds between all 7 of them, and that's kind of what also adds to their originality, because you get this like distinct styles working together in harmony, and it's something else, man. Like this isn't just some flavor of the month. I mean, they've been doing this for like what, 10 years now, and I mean they've pretty much just been crazy doing this.
Well, I mean it's really cool, because like, and that's one thing that as a music fan that I always look for. I look for chemistry, like in the band. Like you can tell pretty quickly if people don't, if the band members are not getting along. You and I off air, we've talked about like Blink-182. We've talked about so many other bands. We've talked about Linkin Park. Chester Bennington, rest in peace. But like all these bands, I even brought up one she's a member of our faith. Lindsey Sterling, her band, like I've watched a lot of her stuff over the years, just because being a member of the same faith, where like when they're on tour, like they're in a confined space, like in a tour bus for like months on end. So if they have any beef with one another, like they have to get it out, because they reflect on their performance and people will be disappointed. And as a musician, like, you don't want that. Like, you don't want people going like, why did I pay this much money to see this when it's not that?
And I think the funny thing is that now that you say that, one of the things that's really interesting is that has actually become a problem in metal because there's so much ego, and it's like, well, look how fast I can play, look how heavy we can make this. But the thing that's interesting is most people are foregoing having a band. Like, most people know there's a group called Ghost. They are massive. They had this song go viral on TikTok called Mary on a Cross, and it's just one guy. It's only one guy. And that's because, like, he had a group when they started, and they absolutely just did not get along. And so they broke up, and he just writes all the music, and then he pays studio musicians to tour with him, and they wear masks so no one can ever associate them with the group.
See, I mean, that's cool, but I still don't know how I would feel about that. And that's why I think
Yeah.
I like things like this with BTS, where, like,
Yeah.
these guys, like, they're brothers. They've been through thick and thin with each other.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, they've been through hell.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
One
of the craziest things is one of them got a death threat because he was sad his grandma died. Yeah. I'm not even joking.
That's terrible. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but that's bad. Like,
Yeah. If you ever want to get into it, there is actually a video that I have that kind of goes through like all the stuff that they had to go through, and it is nuts, dude. Like, they went through some serious garbage.
we'll see. I don't know if I
Yeah.
want to, because I could bring up some pretty bitter feelings.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
Dude, yeah, it gets rough.
and you can tell that they have a lot of respect for each other just
Oh, yeah.
by the way they like the fact they did this in all one take.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they don't that it's not just one person hogging the spotlight. They're giving each other the chance for the spotlight.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of American bands break up, because usually someone in the band is wanting all the spotlight. They're wanting all the attention. They're wanting to be selfish.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, like, that's one of the reasons why, like, you have bigger bands from, like, America or the UK, or, who are still together, because a lot of those people, like, and even especially like BTS, U2,
Mm-hmm.
I named off like Lindsey Sterling. I named off All American Rejects. These are all bands where the band members have set their egos aside.
Yeah.
And they want to give everyone in the band an equal shot at the spotlight.
Yeah. And the thing that's really crazy, now that you say that too, there's two groups that I always think like pure longevity. Have you ever heard of the Scorpions?
No, I haven't.
They did Rocky Like a Hurricane.
Oh, okay.
They've been around since like 1979, and they're still headlining festivals to this day. Same group, same everything. But one last thing that I did want to comment on about BTS is I think one thing that's really cool is like all 7 of them do and can actually still sing. It, because there's so many of them, it kind of gives you this like choir-esque feel behind it all. I think that's really cool.
That is cool, especially coming from, I've been a part of a few different. I was part of that show choir in high school, and I've been a part of some church choirs. Actually, one of the church choirs I was a part of was like went worldwide. Like, people were able to watch it like worldwide. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
But I think that's really cool that they have that ambiance, that sound, like where they can sound like a choir if they need to.
Yeah.
But they can also be like really serious, like with the rapping, like where they're just like really like
they're going at it.
They're going at it. They're not letting anything go. And man, that is cool.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, what do you think of that?
Well, I mean, I know BTS at this point, and they don't fail for me. They just always are so good at everything that they do. And my biggest thing as to wanting to do this, and I'm kind of glad that you were willing to take it on, because it gets a little bit tricky, but to combat the feeling of like when you hear like a group about BTS and they look all cutesy and they like, they might have makeup on. I like fighting the perception that it's cringy, because it's like, it's really not. And they are serious musicians.
Yeah.
And so that's why I like to do stuff like this, is because to me it's like it's fighting that stereotype.
Yeah, they're using their God-given talent, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's one thing that I always appreciate when people choose to use their talents.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why we're doing this.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron. Well, you know how I always end my videos. Do you want to say it, or do you want to say it together?
We can try and say it together. I always botch it.
Okay, so I'll run through it one more time with you.
Okay. Give me the countdown, 2, afterwards.
And I will see you in the next video. That's what I say, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
And I'll see you in the next video.
Take care.
Mhm.